Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Supercoach Experience podcast. Yes, we are in the final round. I'm Mike, the host for this week. I'm the coach of the Trip Jacket Mafia. We're down Savs again, work, and with the expecting of his firstborn. He's been really busy. Also, he's coming off a loss to the Trip Jacket Mafia by about 8 points. So I think he's still licking the wounds from that one. As always, we've got Jake down there on the bottom screen, coach of the Ramia Noodles. How are you, Jake?
Oh, I'm good, mate. It's good for the Supercoach to finally be done. I guess 1 week to go.
Yeah, not looking forward to the finals then.
With a massive 12 players this week, no, I'm not.
And we'll cross over now to a man. It's good to have him back on the show. It's been quite a while. He's had a long stint on the sidelines, prepping for the big round. Timmy, the coach of Iliami's, still hold his first spot. He's got a lead of about 400 going into last round. How are you, Timmy?
Good, man. Great to be back on. I've really missed sort of having this weekly experience with you guys. A bit of a drop of the name of the pod, the experience. I obviously decided to go into a bubble after hitting the lead after week 18, I think it was. And then I sort of came on the pod. I sort of realized how much I was sort of revealing, even when I was conscious not to. So, obviously being on a podcast and giving people that availability to sort of get that inside, I thought it was best to shut that down for a little bit. But we've come out of the bubble now just to have a bit of a chat see what happens for the ride home.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's been not the same with you without you here, but it's good to have you back on and putting yourself in the bubble. I think it's really worked out for you. So while we're on you, before we dive a little deeper into that, we'll quickly discuss how we all went last week. Also big team list, a huge team list. I think everybody was ready for restings, but I don't think we were expecting as bad as what it was. So we'll talk about a few tactics and stuff like that too after we address Timmy. Also, we didn't put a questions post up today, so if any of you guys have any questions, please chuck it on the stream, and eventually we'll get to them. So sounds good. Okay, so yeah, Timmy. Firstly, we'll start with you. We know you had a massive round last week, a super round. Did how'd you go last round, and what'd you score? And we all obviously know you're in first place, but yeah, tell us about your last week.
Geez, I should know exactly what I scored, shouldn't I? It was 1,566. It was pretty crazy. Obviously, still having also Tedesco in the side and scoring, a lot more than what most sides did was pretty wild. I don't put it down to any brilliance or anything. I just think that the boys knew they had something to play for last weekend, and they all went out and did it. So, every player played out of their skin, and it was just odd to see that the people that are sort of in that sort of top 10 as well. Most of their unique players went really under what we'd expect them to do. So it just kind of worked out perfectly for me, and it's it just allowed me to sort of have options, I guess, and see how I want to go about this moving forward.
Yeah, awesome. We got Adam Brady down the bottom there. You're the man. You're the man, Timmy. A lot of people tuning in to support you on for this week, so that was nice. And we'll cross over to you now, Jake. We know that you can't wait for the Supercoach season to be over. I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there. How'd you score last week, and are you still left in any of your finals for this round?
Well, I scored quite well. I scored 1454, which in the Turbo Hemis was the second best behind this bloke.
Timmy, yeah.
So it was a decent score, but in the last cash league that I was in, I ended up getting done by my mate. He scored, I think, 8 less than Timmy. It was a 1550 or something as well. So I'm out of all my cash leagues. I'm in a mate's one, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's much quality in that, so I won't really mention that one in there. But yeah, it's an all right score. The issue is now I have 12 players with all the mayhem that was. I know there's been a bit of talk, sort of people saying that maybe Supercoach head-to-head should finish a week, or start a week earlier and then finish a week earlier to sort of avoid, because this is like the second year in a row where you've had two finals like disrupted by injuries. Like last year was the same thing. Like heaps of teams rested all their players that are already safe. So, I mean, I think they're going to make a lot of changes for next year for the NRL Supercoach, but maybe that one might be one. Who knows? I'll definitely push for it with me 12 players I look forward to this week.
I know, yeah. I think it does favour people that have set up, but either way, I agree with you. Like the fact that it starts at round 4, I reckon it wouldn't be hard to push it back around and still do it. Either way, no matter moving it, people are still going to run out of trades, and I bet you come to round 24, you'll have a lot of teams without trades. But yeah, I love that. I'm in the very similar boat to you, so I'm coming off a 1384, which sees me. I went up 18 spots, so it looks like I'm going to finish between the 3,000 to 5,000, which isn't horrible. You can't ever be not happy with the top 5,000 finish. It's just how far I dropped back this week. I ended up, as I said, I beat Savs in a bumper of as a perfect Mike and Savs matchup. It went down to the wire, and in the end, he was def riding Brian Tone, or he was def riding Luai, and I was def riding To'o Nofaluma. So it was right up to the horn. I got lucky in updates. I bowed out of the Turbo Hammies Cup, so Supercoach Experience is officially eliminated, which was a bit of a heartbreaker. I only just went down to 8-0, about 25 points. So it just sucks with all the injuries. I'm shocked I've been able to stay alive that long. So I'm left in 3 of my big cash comps, but I'm going to lose all of them this week. I'm actually down to, I think, the lowest out of all of us. I'm only down to 11. I can't believe it. I got Kenny Bromwich. No one owns him, so I'm screwed. Brayley, Barnett, and then all the other host of popular options. Combine that with an injury to Joey Manu, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm versing Timmy this week in a big one. I'll lose that, and I'll probably lose the other 2. But hey, at least you get money for coming second. So it's really depressing. I wish I had more trades left, but I think what everyone's going to take out of it, and what I have, is next year my number one focus will be saving trades and trade management. So looking to next year, I guarantee that I'm going to manage those trades better, and I think that's what everyone needs to look at. But nonetheless, still excited for the Supercoach round ahead. Timmy, so first and foremost, to Sabs posted on the page earlier that you come out of the bubble, and he said you had a secret to reveal and a message to those in the hunt for the overall ranking. So I'll hand it over to you for a sec. You can discuss that, and then we'll bounce off that.
Well, it's not a bad segue from what you just sort of mentioned. It was something along the lines of having saved trades, and that being important and something you want to look at doing next year. So for me, I've obviously for the last few weeks not been on the show to try and keep my cards close to my chest and run by that sort of mentality that loose lips sink ships. So I've been even really tight with you guys, and especially Savs, because he's got that sort of journalist quality about him that loves to break a story. So I've always been worried whether the guy that's closest to me is going to be the mole that leaks the biggest bit of information. So being at the top, obviously with all eyes on me from round sort of 18, it wasn't what I expected. I've sort of treated this Supercoach season like a marathon, and I didn't really think that I'd be that ahead that early, and was all about just sort of where I could sort of finish in the end. So it turns out that I've had some pretty good stamina, and more stamina than I thought I had. Maybe there was something in the Gatorade they passed me on this marathon at the stands or something. But yeah, I'm kicking along well. So I guess the reason that I've come out of the bubble now is because I just wanted to have a bit of full disclosure and open honesty, and just let people know that I have saved trades, and I do have 2 going into this week. So I'm doing that for a reason. People might be wondering why you're telling people you got 2 trades, but it's for a specific reason, because there's going to be teams around me looking at me thinking that I might have 15 players and that I might be vulnerable. But I am able to bring in 2 more players, and obviously I've got the flexibility to be able to bring in any 2 players I want. So I guess it's not really a warning or anything, or a brag. It may come across as both, but I sort of more want to reach out and sort of give a message to those people that are in the top 10, the top 20, the top 100, particularly the top 10. And those, maybe around that, even in the top 20, My message to you guys this weekend is finish the rank that you deserve to finish. And what I mean by that is, for some people, unfortunately, like our boy Henry, who's was out in front for quite a fair bit in the early stages, and he's always been, I don't think he's been below 30th all year. Unfortunately, he's got 11 players this week. A lot of other teams are in a much better situation. So if you are one of those teams that are in a much better situation, don't ruin it for yourself and finish the rank that that you should finish. And to do that, that means you can't throw chance. You can't be going against Turbo this weekend. I know people might think that that's the only way to try and throw a miracle to catch me. And I'm not suggesting that it's impossible to beat me. I just think that it's probably going to take a miracle. And if you're wanting to try and chance that miracle, I think the one thing I've learned this week is, this year, is you can get caught up in the emotion of the pre-round decision. And then after the round, you look back and just think, why did I do it? Why did I do that? And so people might say to themselves, look, if I'm not first, which I have for a lot of the year, I don't really, it doesn't really matter to me now that I've got this opportunity. I either wanted first, and if I didn't come first, I would have been probably disappointed with anything else. But I think for people that are in that spot, you need to realize that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, up to 20th, 100th is a great achievement. And so wherever you're meant to naturally finish on that ladder, finish there. Don't throw chance to the window. If you want to, even if you got Cleary, that's awesome. I can get him too. I might. But if you want to captain someone like that, and you end up losing 100 points and end up dropping to a spot, I mean, who knows what Cleary might get even rested if you're thinking the same things about it. A lot of them could. So I'd say go with the guy that that can get you 180 to 200 in 60 minutes and has done it before, even when rested. And I'd also say go with the guy that we've all thought that would get rested and pulled off early, but in the past has also played 80 minutes because he wants to play. So, look, it might look like I'm really trying to persuade people to let me win this, but I am. I've got a good lead and I don't want to lose it. So there is a very, very small chance, very, very small chance, I think, that things could go crazy and, I might get very, very unlucky. But I think that it would be wild for you guys to go against Turbo or do anything wild like that, because at the end of the season next year, you're going to look back and go, I could have finished second. Second's $5,000. And if anyone wants to go and have a look at, well, obviously everyone who's in the top 10, top 20, we all know how much each other play, who's got how many players available. That guy's only got 14. So the way I see it, let's open up that let's open up the competition and make it a race for second now.
I'll jump in with you, Timmy. I guess you try to nicely say, like, you're up. I mean, your lead's 400 plus. I mean, it's not going to get run down. So I guess everyone else is sort of competing for the minor places. And it's not even, for second. I mean, it's the top 11 get a prize as well. They get the tracksuit. So anyone sort of maybe in the top 30, I'm not too sure how close everyone is in the ranks, but top 30 or whatever, if you still got a chance, like, don't try and blow it by going risky as captain in your last round if you've got numbers. So play it smart, I reckon. If you're outside the 11, aim for that 11 for sure. And if you're already in there, aim for as high as you can.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the tracksuit, because when I found out that there was a tracksuit, I remember the guest we had, Clementine, on last week. I saw her post in one of the pages about wanting the tracksuit, and I'm thinking, is a tracksuit? And I thought, I hope I get a tracksuit. And I'm thinking, well, of course, if she's going to get a tracksuit, I'll probably get a tracksuit if I can hold on to this. So I got really excited about that. And the thing I really do say to people too is, it's not just the rank. It's, if you get that tracksuit, it's not just a tracksuit you can wear, it's a memory. And that's what I think the important thing about Supercoach is. It's making memories as well. And because people reflect on how they did that year before and the different choices they made and all this stuff. But that's almost like a trophy that I don't know. I for me, the tracksuit's just really cool. And the reason I bring that up is, the people, people are like, oh, what are you going to do with the money? That sort of stuff. Like, I might reveal what I'm going to do with my money down the track if I am lucky enough to hold on. I think I'm an unlucky guy, so I feel like there's still this chance that it could go against me, and that's why I'm rooting for people to just play the safe card and finish the rank that I think that it should naturally fall. And if they go against it, that I think it'd be wild. But one thing I want to do with the money, which I think is a really cool idea, and I think everyone else in the top 10, 20 might even want to think about doing it themselves, or anywhere. You might even be coming 10,000, think, oh, I love Supercoach, I love my team, and I want to do it too. I'm going to get myself a football jersey made up, which is my team colours, the pink with the logos with the army stripes, the Villy Army. I'm going to get my name on the back, number 1. Going to get it, assuming. I might get number 2, 3. We'll see what that is. But I'm going to get it framed. And I'm going to have every single player, sort of with their photo that came in and played a role at some point throughout my Supercoach, whether it was throughout this season, whether it was just one game that they came in and out, whether they didn't play a role, whether they did play a role, all that sort of thing. And hopefully do my best to try and maybe get on Instagram or something. I'm not on that, and try to track down these guys and see if they might be able to sign it for me one by one on a little card and post it out. And that's going to be my memory. And that's going to be the thing for me that I'm going to look back on forever, because, money comes and goes, but that's something that I will be able to look at and, pass on to, hopefully, future grandkids or something like that, or, maybe even my sister's grandkids or something like that if I don't have any myself, because I don't think I'll be passing it on to my cat Freddie at this point. I don't think she'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
but
I think that's a great idea, Timmy.
Cool idea. So I thought it was amazing. It just hit me, and I was like, "That's so cool!" And that's just a way I could look back on it. So yeah, that's what I want to do. And I think if anyone else wants to create that memory for themselves this year or going, into the future, I think it's a great way to do it for yourself as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see a picture of the goals up there. He's played a pivotal role in your side this year, so I think it's a great idea. I can't believe I haven't thought of something like that. I think that's an awesome idea, and it's a big way to capture it. Also, you mentioned the trades. I thought it was, and you've done super moves all year to get you in this position, and last week I think myself, if I'm in your position, I would have been so tempted to make the trades as the number 1 there.
Just so no, it's the thing below it. Just so I'm not bluffing.
Yeah,
he's got the trade.
There's his 2 trades. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was absolutely outstanding last week for you to hold on and not make 2 trades last week with all the carnage last week. And look, everyone was saying a lot of players are going to be fighting for positions and teams are going to be fighting for positions. So I was like, maybe the restings aren't going to be as bad as we thought. And yet again, this feels like a buy round. We get probably the worst resting ever for Supercoach. So it's a pivotal move. I think if you don't have 2 trades this round, you might be in a bit more of a sore position. So, I'm sure those 2 trades you make will have a lot of decisions and thought that goes into them. And I think I've never seen someone plan so much for Supercoach, man. So props to you for that. Just quickly, I know you were on the podcast this week with the champions. So for anyone that caught that, you probably heard a few of the questions, stuff like that. Kind of what I asked Clementine and Rob last week. What do you think? I want to know, first and foremost, your biggest move that you feel like. I've got a few moves right in this way for you. I've seen most of the moves you made, and I've got a few that I like. But what do you think is your biggest or favorite move that you've made to get you into a pivotal position?
There's probably 3 or 4 that stand out. There's one that I sort of mentioned on the Champions podcast that I won't sort of go into too much detail because I've already spoken about that.
Yeah,
and
maybe
go and give them a listen. I'm sure they already do because it's a great podcast. Obviously they've all won it before, so they know what they're doing. So I guess that I'd reveal was which I won't go into too much detail, but was bringing in Ponga. And go check that out. That was my favorite move. And you'll find out why if you go check out the Champions podcast. But I'd say other than that, DCE, I thought that was probably my best move, just because I found that everyone at the time when they were getting off Cleary, if they hadn't already gone on SJ, were going SJ, and I was well off him, and I thought everyone was wrong with that, and I thought everyone was being sold the SJ story everywhere where I was listening. So I wasn't sure it was DCE, to be honest. I was balancing up whether it was Jerome Luai, whether it was
lucky you didn't get that
available. Yeah, and then I ended up. The thing DCE's just got that, he's a star, and I don't love him. I've never loved him. We come from two different parts of the world. I'm a Penrith guy from Western Suburbs, and he's from the Northern Beaches and speaks like a politician. So we speak very different. But from what I've heard from all accounts, he's one of the boys. But so I decided to not go with the old pick the players you love and pick the guy you think's probably going to do the job. And Savs actually pointed out to me, he copped a really big rap after Origin too, like especially with his speech and stuff like that and all that sort of stuff. And I think just the way a lot of the media were just sort of giving him a bit of a hard time as well about his involvement and stuff. And I thought that definitely players like that definitely stand up and bounce back. So I think that one was the lucky one that really played out well for me. And obviously Hines, getting on him at the early days as well at that 280 price. And just the simple, obvious one is getting on Turbo the day he was available. And that was a gamble at the time. Everyone was worried about his hammy, and that I weighed that up big time and almost didn't go there myself. But I think he shocked us all how good he was. Like, we knew he was good, but he showed us he was a lot better than what we thought he was.
Yeah, 100%, man. So just quickly, we'll have more questions. I think I've got a few questions up here that I'll post, but we have a surprise for you, Timmy. This was all completely Sav's idea, so we're not going to take the credit. So just for all the viewers,
I know what it is. I know what it is too. And
all right, here we go.
Someone else has done really good to throw this away. To throw a decoy and make me think it wasn't happening. Okay, yeah, cool.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna switch to a segment. Everyone, I hope you enjoy it.
Timmy, the man, the Villies, how good. Don't forget about the cheapies this week, brother. My 27 points against the Strikers got someone home one day. Good on you, mate. Well done. Good luck.
Hey, Timmy Barnesy from the All Stars podcast, mate. Just wanted to wish you all the best for the final round of the Supercoach season. Well in front. You've got the 50k in the bag, so don't even worry about it. Put your feet up this week. But, mate, great season. Couldn't be happier for you. It's a fantastic finish. Don't pick Billy Kickout at start next year, please, because I think that you have trouble going back-to-back. But this win will be the best thing that Billy Kickout's ever been associated with, even if the Panthers win the premiership, mate. I reckon you should let him know about it. Winning Supercoach, it's even harder. So, best of luck, mate. But I reckon you got it in the bag. 50k. Enjoy it all, mate. You deserve it. Fantastic season. Roosters, enjoy, mate. Cheers.
G'day, mate. Andrew from the Points Per Minute podcast. Congratulations on such an epic season and good luck for next weekend. I've been following your progress closely throughout the entire back end of the season, and I'll be following your progress next weekend too, of course. It's really impressive how you've been producing the good scores, even with all the injuries and suspensions around. It shows how much time you've put into the depth of your team. Mate, good luck for next weekend. A well-earned season, and all the best, mate. Cheers.
Tim Mooney, coach of Billy Army, congratulations on the win. No, in all seriousness, congratulations, bud. Well deserved. You led for such a long time and you deserve it. So lap it up and enjoy it.
Timmy, just want to wish you luck, mate. I know you've already got in the bag. Talking bags? Nah, just joking. Good luck, man. Love your work. Hopefully talk to you through the year.
Hey Timmy, Brent from BJ on Game Day here, mate. Just wanted to wish you all the best this week. 1 week to go, mate, until you're the 2021 NRL Supercoach champion. How good does that sound, mate? All the best. Hope Team Lists are kind. It's been a pleasure to watch you play this season, mate. Some of the decisions you've made and just hearing some of your insights along the way. It's been unreal. Couldn't happen to a nicer bloke, mate. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and you've worn it well. You've led well. You got everyone from BJ on game day stable behind you, mate. Looking forward to seeing you take it out officially. And yeah, don't spend too much time thinking about how you're going to spend that 50,000, baby. Woo, up the Billy Army!
G'day Tim, Adam Drucy here, mate. Just wanted to say a huge congratulations on winning Supercoach this year. It's been a sight to behold, mate. I think the way you've played has been absolutely amazing. I think there's been some inspired moves. I must say, I never thought Viliami Kikau was a Supercoach relevant player, but you have proven me and everyone else wrong. So mate, I'm so happy for you. Seriously, you deserve the win. I think the strategic move with Tedesco and Ponga was a sign of your genius. And mate, I'm just personally very happy for you, man. I know you've had some tough times last week, so hopefully this goes a bit of a way to make for a better period. And looking forward to taking you on next year in an appropriate league. Cheers, buddy. Well done.
Hey Timmy, congrats on an incredible season, mate. It's been amazing to watch right from the get-go. I'm super excited for what the wing can potentially do for you and your life going forward. Would have been nice to watch those last couple of games with the other Turbo Heavies Cup boys, but unfortunately the world is what it is. But look, we're all here supporting you. Bring it home, mate. Good luck for the final week.
Hey Timmy, it's your extremely attractive, funny and humble younger brother. Congratulations mate, you're all but home. Hopefully they can't catch you from here, but the Viliami looks to be safe and sound. Hi buddy, we need to catch up next year, the three of us, and have a beer and give us some tips. Yeah, we need some help.
Hey guys, it's Rob, coach of the Centurions. I just want to extend my congratulations out to Timmy, coach of the Viliami, on what looks like to be an outstanding victory for Supercoach season 2021. You've played absolutely outstanding and you're a worthy winner of Supercoach with a week to go. Enjoy the 50 grand and get to join an elite group that get to call themselves Supercoach champions. That includes my sister Mary, and now you're one of them. So big props to you, congratulations, and the Supercoach experience, guys, Savs, Mikey and Jake and everyone else. Thanks so much for all your content and everything you've done from this year. Look forward to Supercoach season 2022. Thanks guys.
Timmy, you handsome legend. Best of luck with the final round of Supercoach. There's no better person to take out than yourself. And as Conor McGregor says, 50 G's, baby!
Hey Timmy, big congratulations mate on your number one overall spot. I know you've still got one more week to go. You've got a nice lead, but you know, it's not over till it's over. So I wanted to wish you, the best of luck and hope you can get over the line. What a year it's been for you, and it's been great to ride that wave alongside you, mate. So really looking forward to the rounds ahead. We've become mates through Supercoach, and I think nobody else deserves it more than you, mate. So best of luck.
Timmy, congratulations on Supercoach season, mate. You're a modest dude, and you'll credit the boys, but you're a mastermind behind operations. Congratulations. It's been great journey to follow you through, and can't wait to celebrate with you, mate. Well done.
Hey Timmy, congrats on the outstanding year, mate. Win, lose or draw. Obviously a good lead going into the final round, but anything can happen. Fingers crossed for you, mate. You take it home and get the glory and a well-deserved overall title. If that is the case and you do pull it off, we're all backing you in your corner and keen for you to shout the bar at the THC Cup Mad Monday. Good luck, mate.
G'day Timmy, Henry here, coach of How Good Is Golf. Just want to congratulate you on your massive year this year. Ranked 1, 404 in front. I am a little jealous. I was there at one stage, and I would like to know if we can still do a bit of a coaching swap. I have pushed my way back at the 21st, but unfortunately too far back to catch you. Congratulations on the year. Hope you can hold on for the last week. I know we're all rooting for you, and good luck. Cheers to me.
G'day Timmy, it's the SC Whisperer here, mate. From the minute that we all realised that this was a real possibility for you to take this thing out, I think a lot of us have been sweating you really, really hard. We've been checking those rankings every week, checking in on you to make sure you're doing okay. The Viliamis, they won't let you down. I know that you've worked really hard to get where you are, and it's just a phenomenal effort to do so, mate. The minute lockout rolls around, I think we'll all be messaging you like crazy to make sure that you got over the line, mate. But from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the best of luck this week.
What is up, Timmy? Sabs here. Currently 2:11 on Wednesday, which brings on the 37-hour mark of being awake since, I'm actually in hospital because Minnie Sabs is here. There she is, nice and healthy. Mrs. is there. She's she doesn't want to be in the video because she doesn't feel that great, but she's doing well. She had a pretty major surgery, so it's been pretty tough few hours, but we're thinking of you and good luck and congratulations for the season. It's been an awesome season. I've really appreciated being around and being, I don't know, just being the person you go to for advice, even if it's not direct advice, it's just to bounce thoughts off. I really love being that guy for you, and, you know, we made friends. We're friends from Supercoach addicts or something, so this world is a really good world, and I'm sure you're going to make so many more friends from... Fuck off. I'm sure you're going to make so many more friends and so many more friend requests, so good luck and enjoy the 50k.
Hey bro, I just wanted to come and say good luck this week. If not, hopefully congratulations. You and the Villi Army have done absolutely amazing this year. You've put so much thought and effort into all of your decisions that you've made. I know it's a really strategic game and you've just done absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy for you. It's such an amazing achievement, especially to have the lead that you've had and for how long you've had it is just unheard of. So such an amazing job. Congratulations once again. Hopefully all goes well this week and you're a shoo-in. I know it's been a really stressful couple of weeks, but hopefully this will be the light at the end of the tunnel and you will just feel a little bit lighter, and it will just be absolutely amazing to have known that you've done such an amazing job in the Supercoach world and hopefully bring home the money. Love you.
How's that, mate?
Yeah. Guys, that was crazy. I've got to admit, first of all, that actually wasn't what I was expecting. It was so much better. Didn't want you to make me cry in front of the Supercoach world, but yeah, that was pretty massive. It was really heartfelt. I really appreciate every thing that everyone had to say. It's you know, part of this. You know, obviously we're all competing against each other, but just having people being really supportive, you know, along the whole way. And you know, there's been so many people that have reached out wanting to, you know, help and pass some advice, or, you know, even just give me their number, or just to sort of, you know, if you need, you know, someone to just sort of bounce something off. And I wish I could have, you know, sort of spoken to everyone, but I would have felt myself mad. So I sort of kept my corner pretty tight, and I just really thank everyone for that. Obviously, this is not over yet, so that thing, a lot of the things I mean, this is going to be pretty crap if it doesn't go to plan, because I feel like we've crowed a little early here, but yeah, look, let's hope it goes to plan. I must say that I felt like something was looking after me last week, and I felt like it'd be pretty cruel for it to go against me like this next in this coming round. So it is what it is. We'll see how we go, and good luck to the other guys, whatever they do decide to do anyway. Thanks so much for
100%.
boys and Savs. I will admit what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I thought it was going to be a Villi Army kick-out switch.
Yeah, so we actually tried so hard to get him on, and the Panthers had zero availability. So we really wanted to jam kick-out onto that, but we couldn't get him.
That would have been like cool, but that was beautiful. So beautiful is way better than cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the credit. Excellent idea to Savs, and thanks for all the other podcast boys for jumping on. Yeah, it was great, man, and I was excited the whole podcast. That's why I was a bit late to starting it, because I had to work out how to upload this thing so I could play it. So yeah, awesome, man. You know, I don't think we've crowed a bit early. It's more so, you know, we just wanted to. I think this is a week where you need a bit of courage, a bit of luck, and just a good luck basically. So hopefully we've manifested some good karma there for the Villi Armies, and yeah, we're all behind you, mate. Don't let the stress and pressure get to you. Just keep doing what you've been doing all year, and you've had many points in the season where you're over it and you're sick of it, and then we're just saying, mate, you'll be right, and you'll keep chugging through, mate. So
I've given up a couple of times this year, but hey, enough about me. Let's let's talk about the upcoming round and answer some questions for some other people, huh?
Yeah, I've got plenty of stuff on here. I just wanted to keep it pinned in. So quickly, before we get to that, let's chat with the round ahead. The first thing I wanted to bring up, which I think is a crucial one, as you mentioned before, about Tom Trbojevic. Just quickly, a thing that came out earlier, and one thing that I didn't actually think about is with the way the draw is set out this round, Penrith play on Friday, and we also have the Roosters play on Thursday. So Panthers play Parramatta, and Roosters play Canberra. If Roosters lose and Parramatta lose, when on Saturday, Manly's result will be locked in. Even if Manly were to go down to the Cowboys for some reason, they could, get to Saturday and go, oh, crap. We're in the top 4 no matter what. We just can't lose by 40. They may rest Tom. They may look, if they've only got 4 men on the 21, and I actually had a look at their 21. The only back they're carrying in the 21 is Sully, but they could back him to the bench. He might not play 80 minutes. So I think that is a heavy thing for all coaches to think about, because prepare for some drop. Daly Cherry Evans could get dropped. So this could be huge for people with trades like yourself, Timmy, who could potentially, wait till that round. And then if a big player's out, you can trade him to anyone you want. Timmy, we'll go to you. What's your thoughts around that? Have you taken much thought into that personally? Because I didn't until about an hour before the show.
I think with that one, it's something you definitely need to factor into your structure and your planning of the weekend. So, I think there's a very, very strong likelihood that he'll play, even if they're going to be certainties of 4th spot regardless. I think that he will want to play. I think that he does want that. I know people don't say that players don't want Daily M's, they want premierships. He wants both. So I really think he's going to play. If he doesn't, though, you do want to be prepared for that. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. Is have a VC play beforehand that's you think's going to score well, and if that player does score well, you can still just leave the C on Tommy and take that VC as your captain, and you sort of prepared that way as well. Or alternatively, identify someone else later in the round that you can go as an alternative instead of Turbo.
Yeah, 100%. Jake, what's your thoughts on that?
If that's a scenario, just as a heads up, I'll go the player that I think everyone else will be going to. So I'll be trying to block you.
Yeah,
100%.
It's same as what Timmy said. I mean, everyone's sort of got the same sort of, they don't have much, I guess, flexibility in terms of the plays they can play. So if Tommy gets rested, your VC, you've got Hines playing. You can potentially loop his easily, or the other Manly player that Timmy might be talking about here, or you've even got David Fifita playing the last, I think it's the second last game of the round. Yep. So, there's options even if these happen. But the Roosters, they've got a few players back, so I think they beat the Raiders. I hope they beat the Raiders. It gives the Sharks a bit of an up, I guess. And then Manly, I guess, kind of forced to play their full team and beat the Cowboys. Whether that being an early spell for Tommy, if they're up by 30, then I don't think it really matters because he's going to be heavily captained and probably on a ton by then anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Okay. Yeah, go Timmy, go.
I was going to say, I know Robbo would probably want his players to have a rest and probably, have the opportunity to play the finals and get that, in the top 4 and be able to, have the opportunity to get through and, rest their players in, assuming they won that and give themselves a second crack if they lose and all of that. But a part of me thinks that the Roosters might sort of even want to just play the weaker teams in the first round of the finals to get a bit stronger, because they've had a few players come back like Angus Crichton and Ikevalu, and I think just Morris is in there as well. So with all these players that are coming back, maybe they're getting a little bit more game time, and it's not a bad thing. And I think that the Raiders are going to have a lot to play for. So I think they've got more to play for than the Roosters. So I don't know how that one's going to go on a betting perspective. I don't have a real lean. I like the Roosters just because they've been impressive and Canberra haven't been. But I think teams like Canberra, who probably should be in the 8, will find their way to be in the 8.
Yeah, I I totally agree with you. I think, I know Jake really wants the Raiders not to win, but I really think they can get the job done. It's going to be a really close matchup. Both teams need the win. I think Roosters are taking the same approach as what the Panthers are doing this round, trying to put as much of a full strength side as they can. Obviously, a lot of the guys injured for the Roosters aren't going to come back. So realistically, the side they have now is going to be close to full strength as they can. So I think they really want to get all these players playing together and taking some form into the finals. It's the same thing with Penrith. It's the reason why they're not resting anyone, because they want to get this side playing good footy, because before Penrith hit the finals last year, they won all these bunch of games. They were in good form and they're playing excellent footy, where if you look over the past couple of months, they haven't. So I think that's where Ivan and Robbo's head's at. And with the Raiders, they've just got to win it. There's been plenty of games this year where they've had to win it to do this, and they haven't gone and done it. But, you can never catch the Raiders out. I think they've always after blood. It's a big matchup after, last year in the finals, the Raiders beat the Roosters. The time before that, they lost in the grand final of them. So they're starting to create this bit of a rivalry. So I don't think you can count the Raiders out, and I think it'll be a very interesting matchup.
I think they've got the squad. So
yeah, well, you can't count them out. And
mentality.
100. Oh yeah, exactly. I think there's a few games this round which will be final. This is basically, I'm taking this game. I think the players will treat it as like a finals matchup, and I think there's a lot of interesting bets you can do this week, and I'm sure we'll get to a part where we'll talk a bit about some. Timmy will have a few of his bets for the week and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting one. We'll go over to some of the other key players that are rested. I mentioned it before, but I was very surprised with Brayley and Barnett, and then having a look at the side the Knights have put up. They still got Ponga, they've still got Pearce. Very interesting, the side they've put up. I was expecting those players to kind of rest up, because it doesn't really matter if they finish 6th or 7th. I don't think they can finish 8th. So what are your thoughts on that, Jake? I know Ponga fans, or you are a Ponga fan, and you'd be relieved. What are your thoughts on that, and what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, the Knights don't really have anything to play for. They're locked into 7th regardless. So I was expecting more. I was expecting Ponga, Pearce probably to be rested. I guess the fact that they haven't really played much football together in the last half of the season probably is why. And the bodies like Brayley, Barnett, who have played pretty much every game and, been the workhorse of the team, that's, I guess, why they've been given a rest. But yeah, I mean, I lost Brayley and Barnett like yourself, Mikey, so it's a bit painful. But, I mean, I'm going to go through the other teams. I mean, Parramatta, I'm surprised by them rolling out a ordinary team after, I guess, being up for the Melbourne game and winning that game. It seemed all for nothing, I guess. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I really think Arthur's strategy, it's like they've come up with this big win, and I feel like they've got to get in this form patch, and now he's kind of derailing him. He must obviously think his team really needs a bit of a rest. Maybe he also saw the tough opponents he was versing this week and goes, all right, have a go, boys. And it's very interesting. I think they're paying $11 to sneak a win this week. As a Penrith supporter, I'm very happy with the Parramatta team named. I am also nervous. I do not want Penrith to I don't want Sharks to beat the Storm, which I think they really can. I do not want Penrith to come first. I don't want to play the Manly Sea Eagles. I'm not sure if I'm the only Penrith supporter thinking like this, but I'd much rather verse a Latrell Mitchell-less Bunny side in the first week. I don't want to play Manly. How do you feel, Timmy? I know we've segued away from Parramatta, but
I back the boys, man. I think they're going to win. I really don't care which way they go about it. I think I've said elsewhere. I just hope it's the Storm that they beat in the grand final. I'm really confident we'll win. So, I just think having lost that grand final last year, I think there's a lot of desire in the boys, and I've watched them sing every team song, and they're working up every team song. It's gradual. It's like there's someone conducting it to just sort of lift every week, and they're building. They're going to win.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Yeah, look,
I'm confident. I know that. My only concerns are the Storm and Manly, and yeah, look, it'd be ideal to get an easier run to the path, but you've got to beat them. You got to beat the best to
beat the best. To be the best. Yep. 100% agree with you. Yeah, go, Jake.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, from a Supercoach perspective, if you somehow, like Timmy, have trades left, I guess Panthers players is probably one that you might target. Cody Walker not playing, I guess Jerome Luai might be a decent option. If you have the Jules to bring in Nathan Cleary, is a good one for your head-to-heads against a weakened Parramatta side, but none of their first graders are playing. So that's, from a Supercoach point of view, to target some Penrith players for sure. Even if you need to target that good old cardboard cutout behind Timmy, mate. He's done well for him so far. Surely he can do one again for him this week.
He done like a Fafita, Rock, come off the bench and looked absolutely damaging, and I think he can do the same thing again this week. Just quickly, instead of discussing all the points, because we've got quite a few questions to cover through, some of the key outs, you got Papali'i from the Eels is a big one that everyone's going to suffer through. Bunnies have a mass overhaul. It's also interesting there with Damien Cook, Murray, the list goes on. There's a bunch of them guys, Johnston, Gagai, but the interesting thing, the one thing I want to talk about before we move on is their extended bench. You've got Cody Walker on the bottom of that. You've got, I think, Alex Johnston, Cam Murray. There's a few guys that might sneak in. I was very shocked because earlier in the week it was said that Cody Walker was going to play to, hunt for that Dahlia medal, and then he doesn't get named. It's just an interesting fact because if he doesn't or does play, has huge Supercoach ramifications. If you've got trades left, you don't want to have a 780k player there. You might opt to trade out another player. But if you wait to teams list, the teams that are playing after the Bunnies are the Warriors, the Titans, whoever they're versing. I had a look. The 5'8", if you can only get a 5'8", there's not good ones. You might make the move and go someone like Matt Burton early in the week if that's the position you wanted to target. But I think it has huge things on Supercoach. Cody Walker, if you wanted to. Tommy, you might be scared that he doesn't play 80. You could VC him, but, if Walker doesn't play, you might be forced into captaining David Fafita. Tim, what's your thoughts on all of that? I know I just rabbled on there, but that's kind of where my head's at with the Bunnies. And I think, if Cody Walker does or doesn't play, it has big ramifications for my side this week. What are you thinking about that?
I mean, there's the scenario that you can sell other players. There are probably people that might still have Dilly in 5'8". They could still do Dilly instead of Cody. That way, if Cody plays, he plays. Beauty, bring him in. Same could be said for like Alex Johnson. You might be able to sell the likes of, I don't know, Manu or someone else that you might have that has gone down in that position. But I don't know. I think maybe they're just on the extended bench just because they've got the ability to name them there. And there's not any extra players to probably name, maybe. I don't know. I don't think he's I think I don't really follow the coaching trends too well in NRL, but I feel like Wayne Bennett's a bit more, he doesn't play as many tricks as some of the other coaches. I think he just named his side and put it out. Someone will probably prove me completely opposite wrong of that. But yeah, I feel like he'd just, and I feel like with Cody too, I feel like he would make the decision. It wouldn't come down to the player. I feel like he's the boss more so than probably a lot of the others when it comes to those sorts of decisions. Whereas Tommy says, "No, Des, I've got to do this."
Yeah.
I can't do Des' impression. I was not good. Des is great.
Yeah, 100%. So, Jake, did you have anything you wanted to comment on that, or do you feel the same way?
Oh yes, same way, same as you do. Yeah.
Awesome. So I've got a few questions on there. I think a lot of them are going to be involved around you, Timmy. So we'll plug them. We'll go through a few bets that might look good this week, and then our usual stuff to finish the show off. Been going for nearly an hour already, so it's flown by. Henry Bryant, he did mention it in his congratulations to you, or his good luck thing. So any chance he can loan a couple of players from your team this week, Tim? TLT wasn't kind at all. I have 11 players, including Talakai. Ouch. Don't worry, I'm with you, Henry. I'm in the same boat, mate.
I think
we're not really in the
same
boat. He's a bit different rank.
Oh, yeah, I'm not in the same boat. You're right.
I think that's really tough, man. I really feel for Henry. As I said before, I think that's really one of the tougher breaks of the year. Probably won't finish where he probably should have.
100% agree. We got Hayden Moore. He got 1,600 last week, was on the push for top 1,000, but unfortunately went from 20 place to 13 this week. Absolute carnage. Yeah, I guess, if you're in an overall position, that it's really stings. But if you're in a head-to-head position, you're just hoping that the guy you go up against is in as much peril as you are. Because even if it's 11 against 13, you still have a chance of winning. We've seen it being done plenty of times this year. Maybe you might have to go against Timmy's advice, and which I know is more for the top, and pod captain or different captain strategies. Another congratulations, Carrot Campbell. Comments every week. Well done, Timmy. Amazing to have trades and cash left.
Thank you very much.
Robbie, another one that shouted you out. My pod, Nicarima coming for you, Timmy. You scared of Nicarima?
Every player that gets a football in their hand in 2021 is pretty scary. I mean, the attacking points are just ridiculous. So with the 6 against, anything can happen. So, yep. Yeah, I am scared. I've had Nicarima at one point. He's looked a little bit lacking confidence and doesn't believe in himself as much. I think that's probably not so much his fault, but maybe because he's been having other kids sort of get his job ahead of him, sort of thing. But yeah, hopefully he stands up for you.
We got Timothy Stojanovic, Serbian last name. What's the highest you have ranked before this season, Tim, if you could remember?
I think it was, I'd have to bring it up exactly, but I think it's like 726 or 726 or 734th, and that was 2018, I think.
Yeah, for as long as I've known you've finished in the top 1,000 over 3 to 4 times. You're constantly in the mix.
No, that was my only top 1,000.
Oh, really? Was it? I swear you've had more than that.
I was going back there. That was my only ever top 1,000, and I've had some pretty stinkers before that. But look, to be fair, a lot of the time I didn't know what I was doing. I was one of those people just asking everyone else what I should do with my side and not trusting myself. And, I wasn't watching enough footy a lot of the time, even though I knew footy. But if you don't know watching the games and you're not interested in it, you're just sort of asking other people. And it's not as fun like that. So when you become heavily invested in it and you're watching enough of it, you don't really care what other people think. And you just sort of do what you see because you can trust your gut, I guess. And that's where it's more fun when you have the complete freedom in your own side and you're not putting it out to, allow others to just make the choice for you.
Yeah, great answer there. The great move was when you sold Ponga for Teddy. We covered that before. Yeah, I think that's a genius move. And I think when you were thinking of making the move, I think it was one where you knew it was going to be huge. It's almost like a shock moment on a reality TV show. So, super move, mate. My favorite, and I'm sure it's most people's favorites, and probably it's got to be your favorite, don't you think?
Yep. As I said, I won't go into too much because I did mention it on the other pod, but we'll maybe discuss it a little bit more and the stresses I had around sort of trying to make that choice as well in the wrap up.
Yeah, because we will do another podcast next week just to kind of wrap it all up, which I guess we'll save more of those questions for. Timmy Smile, so cute watching all these. Thanks, Daniel. He also said, good luck, mate.
Stop it. I'm really conscious of bloody smiling. I've got my two front teeth. They just keep moving further and further apart. So I don't know what's going on. My teeth used to touch each other about 2 years ago, but I actually know the reason. I was meant to get braces when I was a kid, but bloody stepmother decided not to follow through with it. So I only got half the gig. Just made room for these guys to spread out. So I reckon Nathan Cleary could flick a tooth back from about a metre away and get it through there every time. One of those, get a toothpick, just like one of those trick shots. Put it up on TikTok or something. TikTok with a Tic Tac. Nathan Cleary. There's a segment for you.
And well done, Timmy. Good luck riding you home. We also had Christopher. What do you do when Latrell not getting sent off meant you lost 2 cash comp head-to-head semis right at 30 points? That hurts. I think that really stings. He comes back, scores that. Yeah, I think 90% of us will agree and say he should have been sent off there. And just like it has ramifications for betting, it also has ramifications for Supercoach. So lucky enough, didn't come up against any Latrell Mitchells. But I know if I lost a big cash comp like that because of that reason, I would have been absolutely fuming because this round was so close. It was a close nail-biting round for a lot of head-to-heads. Every head-to-head I was in, I was either losing by 10 or winning by 10. So it was a good round. We'll go one more from Timothy, and then I'll want to cross over to Jake. Cleary needs to come in. I have Seawalker, Schuster, DC, and Burton. Who go, Seawalker or Schuster? That's an interesting question with who to get rid of. The Cody Walker's just a gamble. If you really don't think he's going to play, then 100% get rid of Walker. Then you have a more strength of 17. But if you think he's going to play, then maybe you could go Schuster. But if Schuster comes out, scores about 80 plus, which he's looked pretty average the past month. Tim, would you do anything different?
No, I'd get rid of Walker and keep Schuster because I can. Manly will kill it this weekend, so why not get a part of that? And he's not named, so don't. Yeah. It's an easy one.
Agree with you. All right, that's all the questions. Jake, just quickly, we wanted to have a shout out to all the guys in our cash comp. So we held $420, $125, and $150 cash comp. We really just wanted to shout out to the finalists and wish them good luck as well if they're listening. So Jake's just going to wrap through what comp, who's in the grand final. Go for it, Jake.
Yeah, I'm sure next week we'll go through who ended up winning these, but just to get the two players. In the $50 we have, actually these two. We have these two heading head to head.
It's a matchup. 11 players.
It's really hard to do the wrong side.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm pretty sure it's a one-horse race for that one.
Look, mate.
Strong favour in that one.
I knocked out Sabs, and I'm happy to knock out Sabs. But me winning 750 is I'd rather Timmy win 50k, mate. 750 is nothing. Money comes and goes.
So in the first of the $20 ones, we have Jared in So Done taking on Hayden, which team name's Haydos. It's a bit of a tongue twister to go. Good luck to those two. In the second $20, we have, again, this guy, Timmy, going up against Around the Corner, Dean. That should be a good one. Both players, I think, will have 17, so that should be a good one. So we'll
smashed me last week. Absolutely smashed me out of that
they
one.
Both got, I think, around 15, around the same score. So that should be a good one.
Yeah, he had a massive score. Yep.
In the third $20 one, we have Matthew with the Chicken Dinners taking on Tim in Timmy Turbo. Good luck to those two. In the fourth $20 one, we have the Atomic Terminators, coached by Adam, versus Rhythm Bugs, coached by Solomon. And the $25 one, we have Savs. Savs has made one, everyone. Savs has made a final. The Savage Turbos take on Matthew in Back That Pass Up. So good luck to everyone this week. We'll as soon as we know the results, we'll pay those out on Monday, Tuesday, depending on how bank processes work.
So
we'll mention them on Wednesday.
Yeah, then just hit us up on inbox and we'll get all those out to you. Also, just shout out to, I think it's the fourth cash comp, $20 one. We're coming fifth overall. We haven't been paying attention because I've just been really looking at where Turbo Hammy's cup finishes. But congrats to all those boys in that one. Me and Sabs finished 19th and 20th in that. We're both ranked pretty okay, and that just shows how stacked that comp has been. I'm 19th. That was the only cash comp that I didn't do well in.
Yeah, so in that one, I'm 18th overall, 18th in that in terms of overall rank, and I'm nearly 6,000th now. So it shows how good everyone was in that one.
Yeah, so congrats to those boys there. Just quickly, I'll plug the banner for Top Sport. Savs normally has that clip in. I'm not going to rave it. All you guys know about Top Sport. There's the sponsor there. Congrats to been a big year working with those guys. Bets this week, Timmy. Have you been looking at any of the bets? I know you did a podcast last week that I really enjoyed with your mate at what's it called again? I always forget the name. The Tripod. Over at Tripod
Forum. Yeah. So look, you did ask me to sort of bring up some bets I might like, but I've had my head in Supercoach, to be honest. So
no, that's cool.
Bringing up some bets will be something we can look at into the finals. I found that's in the past where I've sort of made some good money in the past. So yeah, we'll try to help you out with that one. But in the meantime, I definitely recommend people to go over to Tripod Punting Forum, and Jacob has a weekly sort of video podcast or just audio if you want, whatever you're into. And he has like his best bets in the first 5 minutes. So he'll let you know that. If you want to listen to all of his analysis, it usually goes for about 30, 40 minutes. But yeah, it's pretty on the mark week in, week out. I think he has like a well over 60% success rate on the bets he places. So
Yeah, well, he got back to
they're
3 out of
also
5 or
sponsored
something
by-
last week.
Yeah. So pretty good success, mate. And I think the closer toward the end of the season, I think it usually starts to get easier too. So yeah, have a look.
Yeah,
and
well-
I think check him out. And they've got a lot of stuff over there at Tripod too. So a lot of other betting if you're into off-season stuff when the footy slows down. So yeah, they're sponsored by Top Sport as well. So the good thing about Top Sport is they look after you. If you're a winning punter, they're not going to boot you as well, like some of the other people do. They decide they don't want your money, or they don't want to give you money if you're going to start winning. So, but yeah, Tripod don't ban people for success. So that's awesome. So I should say Top Sport, jump on things up. I've had about 2 hours sleep. I had a buddy COVID jab the other day, and I'm getting the side effects. So.
Well, there's another shout out. There's your brother there who we saw a nice shout out on the
buddy.
video. So, yep, nice words of encouragement there. But, yeah, I think with the betting this week, I think it's a good round with all the resting. If you think there's going to be an upset, like I think you can put together a nice head-to-head multi. I know that guy from Tripod was talking about that, like, you know, potentially like, you know, a Canberra's upset. If you think the Broncos can beat the Knights or Warriors, I think there's good value. Just chucking a little small.
Yeah, they have a section.
multi.
Tripod mixed max shop. So when you go into the NRL section, it might not be available just yet, but if you go over to their page, he'll tell you whether it's up or not yet, and you can probably check the app and you'll see. But it's usually they've had the best success with that. I think that's well over 70%. It's a fun bet. So they just have, for instance, say Panthers are playing Eels this week, and they might say the Eels would score more points hypothetically than who's another crap team this week?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. They'll score more points than Manly will against Manly. So against I'm getting tired, boys. Against the other game.
That's right. It's been a big episode, mate.
Finish my sentence, man. I've had so many thoughts and things.
So yeah, you've had that video uppercut you out the way, but we understand what you're saying there with the mixed matchups and all that stuff. But let's move on to the last segment of the show. Let's go through our, captains and the bold predictions, which we are absolutely horrible at. We do promise you next year, I'll ensure it, that we will have a tally for all the boys that come on for who get the most right and wrong, and there'll be a prize for the winner, and for the loser, we'll be doing something about. I know we talk about it, but we've lost it. I think there should be a punishment. So let's quickly, Timmy. It's totally up to you.
They did one last year.
Yeah, we did a chili, and but we haven't done one. Yeah, well, no, we're not going to do one for this year while we're all in lockdown. So, I'll go first for a change. I think my captaincy options, first and foremost, obviously will heavily involve Tommy. I might do a sneaky VC on Tommy, and then either captain Cody Walker if he comes in, or David Fifita. Personally, just to be a little different. Hey, I've got 11 players, and I'm going to have to try something different. I'm going to need a really solid performance from those 11 players. Don't get me wrong, I think Hines is an obvious and great VC option that I will also consider. The last time he went into halfback, he didn't set the world on fire. So maybe, it's not going to be... If Pappenhausen wasn't in the side, I think I'd like it a lot more, because with the goals, he can maybe score a bit higher. So I think I'm also leaning towards the other side of the stone. But yeah, I definitely think if I VC Tommy, I'd probably captain him. But in the world where something happens and he scores a 20 or 30, that could be the window to actually win a matchup with less players in another one. So I'm heavily thinking about that. My bold predictions, we're going to go... I'm just feeling a big week from Matty Burton this week from the Panthers. I think they're, as Jake mentioned earlier, targeting them if you have a trade left would be huge. I'm expecting he'll go 100. He'll go 110 plus. Luai, the star of the show for my side last week, who took down Savs, I couldn't believe it, was on 0 at halftime and plugs in an 80 at the end for me. So we're going to go him to also score a ton. And we'll go, my upset of the round will be I'm going to go combined. Sharks will beat the Storm. And I also think the Warriors will beat whoever they're playing. I can't remember, but I know they're not the favourites. Titans, yep. I just got this feeling every time I think the Titans will win, they lose. And I know they might have a chance to go for I think they have an outside chance to get in the top 8. They would require the Sharks and the Raiders to lose. But I just think even, the games where they needed to win one last week and they lost by a point. So I really think the Warriors can, perform and really take some wind out of the sail for them. We'll go down. We'll go over to Jake, captaincy options and bold predictions.
I think my VC is going to be Nico Hines, and then depending on how my one comp I'm in with Jackson, he's probably listening, so I'll say that it could be a Manly player. It most likely is a Manly player, but which one we will find out. It's at the moment it's Turbo, but if I have to win, it might be Garrick or DCE. So it's good to have those sort of options. Bold predictions. I'm going to say as well the Sharks to win. More than a hope, but I would have liked more Melbourne Storm players out. So I'll go Sharks to win and go Milford to ton up this week. He was just short of that last week. He was just short. And I will say Ruben Garrick hat-trick 150 plus.
Timmy, over to you. Disclose what you want, but yeah, what's your thought process for that this week?
I don't know whether I want to chuck Kikau in there and jinx him or not. I don't know whether it's jinxing him. Kikau will do the job. He'll be the highest scoring second rower. That's bold.
It's very bold. Well, not very bold, but it's bold enough for me.
That's bold. And I haven't been really thinking about it.
I always think about it on the spot.
Yeah, sub to score a triple with a backflip.
With a backflip. Being that tall, can you even backflip? Can you even backflip?
It's the last. No, look, of course you can backflip.
I love it. The backflip's good. You're well known for these bold predictions, the crazy ones, mate, and you've got close a few times. So, look, I think I think Timmy deserves a well-earned rest. We'll wrap it up here, guys. As we said, next week we will do a show next week to hopefully congratulate Timmy. But either way, we do it every year. We'll do we'll put a poll up for questions at who you think. We got lots of comments of the year, your plays of the year, and we'll get all that stuff cranking for next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. So good luck to everyone in their last week. Good luck if you're in head-to-head finals, or even if you're not, just hope you have a good round with all this carnage or mayhem. Thanks, Jake, for always coming on, and thanks, Timmy, for coming back on. We should have you back on next week, shouldn't we?
Of course, Miles.
Hope so. Yeah, awesome. Shout out again to Sabs.
Unless I'm in my bed for 2 weeks or something like that.
We'll be getting you on whether you're bedridden or not. Shout out to Sabs for putting together that video for Timmy, and thanks to all those guys involved, and congrats to Sabs. Hopefully he'll be back next week. I know he'll really want to be, but you get his priority right now is his family. So hopefully we get him back on next week. But if not, you'll have us three guys here.
Sabs. It's going to be a great little super coach of that one. I'm sure we'll be learning about the, the cash cows and all the pods from day one. So,
well, if you didn't have I'm shocked if you had a boy, I'm sure Tommy would have been on the cards for a name. So, or even Turbo. Who knows? His middle name, I should say, her middle name could be Turbo. You never know. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening in, and thanks, Timmy, for coming on, mate. We're really cheering on the Billy Armies this week. So. Let's get it.
One last thing. If the people do want to get behind the Villi Army and cheer us on, the Villi Army are encouraging people to change their logo and colours for 1 week.
Oh, yes.
We'd like to slowly see them throughout the leagues with the pink, with the 2 black arrows. You'll be able to find it. If you can't find it, just go to the section in Supercoach where it says rankings. You'll find me up the top there.
I love that idea. I'll be repping the pink this week for sure, mate.
Get on it, boys.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.